Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rockin' Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie. Happy Easter. What's good, Knicks fans? Last game of the season coming up shortly this afternoon. I'm in playoff mode. Happy Easter, everyone. I'm waiting on my main man, AD, to hit me up. I hadn't talked to him this morning. I'm sure he is on the way. I'm just gonna rock for a little bit until I hear from my guy. I got the telephone call in. I got the text message in, and all that stuff, man. And I'm just waiting on my guy to come through. But while we wait on Anthony D to come through and rock the spot this morning. I'll just chop it up with you guys for a little while. He had a topic that he wanted to discuss. He sent it to me Friday. While we do that, what I'm gonna say is, first of all, how's my audio? Can you guys hear me pretty good? Is the audio okay? Is the audio coming through okay? Am I coming through choppy? Just want to make sure that I'm coming through live and direct, right? I want to make sure that I'm coming through live and direct, that there's no weird delay or anything. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Ivory 10 is in the building. Keith Turner's in the building. What's good, Keith Turner? Hey, Mr. Turner, listen, man. I got the Facebook thing up. I put the link to the Facebook group up. I need some help with it. I need some help from some guys that have like that Facebook background to kind of help us grow this Blorange Tears Facebook group, and I'm asking everyone that's that has experience with that, if they can help me do that, man, that'll be awesome. The son of the legend, the Kerry Cox, is in the building, and so for those listening to this for the first time, I'm going to ask that you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and participate in a lot of the stuff that we take part in, such as the Facebook group that's out there, the audio podcasts that are out there, things of that sort. Right? Just trying to grow the channel, trying to grow the platform. And all of that stuff. Paris Duggar is in the building. Paris Duggar, what's good? Paris Duggar says Randall Heim got to be nervous about him not being a deer in the headlights again in the playoffs. If so, what is he really? Okay, I see y'all. Okay, all right. Hard Will is in the building. The GOAT, Hard Will, is in the building. What's good, Hard Will? Hard Will, the GOAT, a legend in this Knicks universe game. Shout out to Hard Will. Salute to the fam. What's good, boss man? It's good to see you. Okay. I just got the text message from AD. It's hilarious. I'm not going to share it. But when AD get here, I'm going to clown him. Yeah, y'all. So thank you to everybody that support the channel and helps the channel grow. We've been doing a lot of things here recently. Recently, we've been doing a lot of things here. right? Like collaborating with other YouTube content creators. They enjoy being on with y'all. Like they enjoy, like the feeling I got from us rocking last night was they enjoyed rocking with y'all because it's just not a helter-skelter chat. Like y'all kind of know what it is that y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? Cass is like, yo, your chat lit. They're like, Uncle Freezie, your chat be lit. Like cats be knowing what they be talking about. They ain't just in here screaming. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? This chat actually knows a little something, something. Why is my chat not up on the screen? I've been trying to work on OBS. I set the setting for OBS right so that y'all can be seen on the screen, and then there it is. All right, come on, OBS. Come on, OBS. We got to do better. I shouldn't have to reset these settings every time I come in here. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So this should update here in a few seconds. Wiz, what's good, Wiz? Wisdom in the building. Mr. 12 Floor says, yes, it's a knowledgeable fan base. Yeah, man. Yeah. But the thing about the knowledgeable fan base part of it is the knowledgeable ones, you know, they come through, but sometimes the chat is sometimes on certain YouTube channels, the chat can be unreasonable. Top Notch T is in the building. Happy Easter. However you celebrate. Wiz says he's still operating on MySpace. Okay. All right, gangster. I hear you. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So thank yous to everybody that supports on the audio podcast side of things. Bruh, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea what is, man. It's crazy. It's crazy that the love and affection that Blorange Tears get on that platform. You know what I'm saying? I know how a lot of content creators get measured is like basic stuff like subscribers and video views, but that's not the only thing. So we all get measured by like 30 different things. So if somebody is bumping in one, they may not be bumping in the other, and whatever. And we're fortunate to be like kind of like bumping in every. We're like the who can I compare us to? Blorange Tears. Oh, you know what? Blorange Tears is like the New York Knicks of NBA basketball. You know how you got the Celtics are out there, and then you have the Golden State Warriors that exist in the same type of space, and then you have, say, the Denver Nuggets that operate in the space. You have the Milwaukee Bucks. We kind of like the New York Knicks in this space. We're not the biggest, not always the best, but we scrappy. That's basically who we are. Paris Duggar says, no Randall, no win, no peace. Amen, brother. Amen, brother. And as I say that, man, the alert doesn't come up. I promise y'all, once something gets right, I lock it in on the spot. And it's kind of why I struggle with this thing, because it's not really consistent, but it's necessary. IKBM Dre is in the building. What's good, Dre? My alert not popping up? Come on, alerts. Come on. Dre, how you enjoy that show last night, man? Top Notch T says, so we signed Isaiah Roby to a 2-year deal? I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I didn't get alerts or nothing. Plus Nice is in the building. All right. Oh, I do see it now. The Knicks signed Isaiah Roby. Breaking news. Okay. Okay, Top Notch T, I see you. And my dog just go crazy. I think there's a cat in the yard. Hold on, y'all. Let me do something real quick. Let me. So I think my dog got loose. I think my dog got loose, man. He out here chasing cats and stuff. I think Mo got him. I may have to. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I gotta go get the dog. Who let the dog out? Who? Sorry about that, y'all. It's not really cool to have like a 14-month-old pit bull running around in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That's not really cool. So I appreciate y'all being patient with me and all that stuff. So what does Isaiah Roby bring to the Knicks? Are y'all excited about that? Okay. So he's a 4-year player. All right. He was let go by the Spurs at the beginning of March after spraining his ankle, but he appears to be fine after signing a contract with the Knicks and going through a physical. Roby is ineligible to be a part of the New York's rotation in the playoffs since he was on another roster after March 1, per Fred Katz of The Athletic. However, Roby could get the chance to make his season debut in Sunday's regular season finale versus the Knicks. What are y'all thinking? So what are y'all thinking? I think if this is the Isaiah Roby, I think I like Isaiah Roby. And Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. I'm not sure why the alert is not showing on the screen. This new thing is kind of difficult to deal with sometimes. I have everything set on it. I changed nothing since the last time. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you got to test these things. Let me test them. I'm going to test it real quick. Yeah, nothing happened. These things are odd to deal with, man. I'm sorry about that, y'all. It was supposed to do like when Paris Duggar's super chat came up. It was supposed to like do the cha-ching sound, like ching, and then it's supposed to show what his super chat said. My bad, Paris Duggar. I don't know what happened. It's technology, bro. So I'm testing the widgets right now, and even the YouTube chat is still not coming up. Let me see here. All right, let me just go with that. And Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contributions. He says, Paris Duggar says, question: have we lost a must-win game yet this season? Or yet this year? I don't think so. I don't think so. Top Notch T says we definitely needed a 3-4 to help us out. Yeah, I think so. And I asked IBM Dre, IKBM Dre a question. I don't know if he answered. Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I asked Dre if he liked the experience, man, of chopping it up with other YouTube content creators. You know what I'm saying, especially about their teams and all of that. I personally had a good time. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time. I like asking them questions and answering their questions also. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it, Dre. I saw it up way up here. Um, yeah, I saw it way up here. I had a good time. Um, Anthony D is on the way. About 5 minutes ago, he said he needed some time, so just some time to come through. So he is on the way, and well, I guess that was about 15 minutes ago. He said that. So he is on the way, and we're gonna get into some old school Knicks. But I think we're gonna do a short show today because of the Knicks play in a little while. Nick Yat is in the building. Mel Besta. It says Roby could actually play could actually play shooting forward a bit too because he's a forward, so helps the Knicks. They can move around. I think he's a young player, right? Isaiah Roby is a very young player, right? Is he like a Farron Hunt replacement? Is that what he is? I think the Knicks made a move like this last year with the kid Farron Hunt. Y'all remember Farron Hunt? I think the Knicks made a similar move last year. He's an Obi replacement. I don't know, Dre. I don't know. You know we love Obi, bro. You know we love Obi, bro. And I ain't about to start that. I'm not starting that conversation. I'm not about if y'all want to have that conversation, y'all have that conversation. But I'm not about to try to upset the Obi fans. You know the Obi hive is real. The Obi hive is real, bro. Yeah, the Obi hive is real. I'm not about to upset them. I'm up here testing widgets right. These things are supposed to be working, and they just do whatever they want to do. I guess it's not working. I'm gonna delete it and then just add it all over again. And I'm gonna delete the YouTube chat thing and then add it again, and then that way we can get my people on the screen. Y'all supposed to be up here with me. I don't know why it's not up here with me, but I need y'all up here with me. All right. I just replaced it, and it's still not up here with me. There we go. There we go. All right, finally. All right. Now we cooking. Corey Lee is in the building. Maybe that's something I have to do at the beginning of every show because I struggle with it. You know, I thought it's something that you just lock in and it just show up, but clearly it's not doing what I want it to do. All right, I'm looking for one more. I want to put my alert box up here. Alert box. Where is it? No, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I want either. I can't find it either way. All right. Corey Lee, what's good, bro? Happy Easter. All right. I got a few more minutes before before AD show up. Let me get into. I didn't want to get into a topic and then AD come and then have us kind of have to shift gears. But while I wait on AD, let me get into a bag just real quick. Y'all know I have a bag. I have several of them, and they are deep like luggage. All right. So as I talk to Knicks content creators, kind of all over the place, I talked to one of my cousins from the D, and I talked to one of my cousins from the D. I think he's in either in Pittsburgh or Cleveland, one of those places, right? And he cannot believe how confident the New York Knicks fan base is right now, right? So his thing is, what are y'all even talking about? Y'all barely made the 5th seed. Y'all hadn't won 50 games. All of y'all best players are hurt. You can't shoot. Your coach is inundated and outdated. The front office clearly don't know what they're doing. And y'all playing Cleveland in the first round, and y'all think y'all are going to sweep Cleveland. Now, mind you, all these things that I said are not my thoughts. These are things that are told to me that from someone that follows sports closely that is not a Knicks fan. Right? This is the thoughts of somebody who is not a Knicks fan. This is someone that does not follow the Knicks. This is a sports fan, right? Yo.
Yo.
What's good, boss man?
What's going on? Are we on, Uncle Freezie?
Yeah, we live. We are live. I didn't know what to do, bro. I didn't know what to do. I think I got the signals crossed because you sent me a topic on Friday.
No, I totally did. But let me say good morning to Nick Nation and so forth and everybody, and hope you all are having a happy Easter. You know, whatever you guys and ladies celebrate and so forth, and it's a good start to your week. Again, rocking with myself and Uncle Freezie. So excuse my tardiness, but I thought, because because normally we would connect early in the morning. I'm like, all right, Freezie didn't say nothing. I'm running the church anyway. Yes, the Reverend A.D. went to church this morning.
The good Reverend Doctor.
The good Reverend Doctor. Still A.D.
Yeah, man.
So how we doing? How's everything? How's the setup?
Hey,
how's the connections?
Everything seems to be good, bro. The audio seems to be right. The widgets didn't work this morning. I guess the widgets had the holiday off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out some stuff with them, but I mean, it is what it is, boss. We will
make it do what it do.
Yeah, we will make a way out of no way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can you see me, folks, or whatever? Because I just clipped the camera just to make sure that we straight.
They can.
All right. So where we at?
They can see the mirror behind you, all the pictures on the wall. They can see your name. Yeah, they got you locked in. I was just about to get into my bag, bro. I was waiting. I was, say a space holder. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna just open the mic up.
Get in the bag. I'll follow up. Get in.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? So I have a few bags, and they are deep, bro. My bag is so deep that when I dig in it, I can find the ketchup packets at the bottom. They that deep. The bag
and some old McDonald's fries.
Yes. Yes.
We are still eating fries.
Yes. The bag is so deep that I find that pack of socks that I bought for the trip. I'm like, oh,
damn.
This is what they are. Okay, I found them. right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I talked to one of my cousins. I ain't gonna say his name because he, like, man, I don't care nothing about no Knicks, buddy. But I own them. See,
He one of those.
he's that cousin, the one that cuss a lot, drink a lot, talk ish a lot. He like to piff a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy, right? But it's okay. Cause I talk a lot. I might not do that other stuff, but whatever. He was like, yo, and AD, imagine you or my cousin, and this is what he's saying, yo, all of y'all stars stay hurt, all y'all best players stay hurt. Y'all don't have a star, right? Y'all can't shoot. Y'all not healthy. Your coach is a joke. The front office don't know what they doing. Y'all barely made it to the 5th seed. Y'all didn't win 50 games, and y'all out here in these NBA streets acting like y'all are gonna knock off Cleveland. Y'all gonna sweep Cleveland and beat somebody in the second round. Who the hell do y'all think y'all are? Right? And me being a Knicks fan, you know the first thing I say. We the Knicks. Now, mind you, all the things he said, I won't question them because even Knicks fans have said the same stuff he said one way or the other. They said all those things or they said one of those things that he said. You know what I'm saying? He was like, y'all don't have a star. Y'all stay hurt. Y'all can't shoot. You didn't win 50 games. And your best two players are hurt right now, and you think y'all are gonna beat the Knicks?
Cleveland.
I mean, beat Cleveland.
Right.
And with the audacity that I bring to everything else, I'm like, hell yeah.
You see, people like that, you gotta just let them talk.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You gotta just let them talk and just, okay. All right. How many teams won 50 games this year? 4, 5? Off the top of my head, 4 or 5? How many teams are there in the NBA?
Right.
How many teams in the NBA are as valuable as the New York Knicks, money-wise? No, none, 0.
None.
See what I'm saying? How many teams have the Jalen Brunson? 4, 5, maybe. You see what I'm saying? So everything that, if you really want to get into an argument with them, the argument, it's so easy to counter, but it's not worth the counter because what you really want to do is argue. You see, you really want to have a debate. You really want to pull it out of me.
He want to shut me down, bro.
Yeah, because he wants you to act out of character. Like a friend of mine, when we argue about, sports and, he's constantly, killing Tibbs and this, that, same thing. He's a Knicks fan. That's the only difference. He's a Knicks fan and this, and Mitchell Robinson is worth this, and Mitchell Robinson should be doing this. And I'm like, yeah, okay. When I can't argue with him anymore, I just do shake my head, LOL. Because it just makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like, are we not supposed to hold the Knicks in high esteem? Fans who've been fans, especially yourself and myself, who've been fans, and even though my fandom has been questioned, I question it myself. I pull myself out of it. I look at it from the perimeter and all of that because I got skin in the game.
Right. Okay.
There's blood there. But for you on the outside, like what? First, who is he a fan of? What team does he root for in the NBA?
You don't want to hear what.
No, I want to hear.
You don't want to hear it.
No, I'm gonna need that.
Or you need that, right? I know who it is, right? And so it makes me like, bro, they from the D.
Oh God.
They from the D, bro.
And the D ain't Dallas.
No, they from the D, bro.
The D is Detroit.
Yes. Yes.
Look, like it's like when y'all trade us Isaiah Stewart, y'all won't be anything else. Like, once we get Isaiah Stewart up off your team, y'all gonna be something else. Like, y'all gonna be something else. Like, it's like when y'all trade us Isaiah Stewart, y'all won't be anything else. Like, once we get Isaiah Stewart up off your team, y'all gonna be something else. Like, once we get Isaiah Stewart up off your team, we'll be done with any kind of conversation with you guys going forward.
Right.
Like you haven't been relevant since '04.
Hey man. Hey, so Hard Will sent me a text. Hard Will say he wanted to jump in. You okay with that?
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, I'm asking because I know it's an isolated block usually in the.
Nah, I'm late. I'm late this morning, so we didn't really have a chance to whatever. So it's not a problem. That's all. Knicks family.
So I will say this though, I don't want to open it up to a bunch of guests, and it has nothing to do with the guests per se. It has everything to do with how this thing operates. It get wonky when you try to get a bunch of people in here. So.
Right. So if anyone else besides Hard Will tries to tap the live stream, unfortunately, Freezie will not let you in.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be kind by saying that.
Yeah. So it's one of them things. Like it's just act wonky, bro. When you put too much stuff, it'll overload the software. So.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. So he from the D. You can't. So first of all, you already know that you can't tell cats from New York nothing.
This is true.
You can't tell them, bro. You ever think about it? Have you ever walked into like a barber shop or some setting like that, and everybody in there was just getting along? It was kumbaya.
No.
Never. It's always arguing in there, bro.
Absolutely.
Hard Will, what's good, boss?
Good morning, sir.
Morning, what's good, y'all? Happy Easter.
Same thing.
Happy
Same
Easter,
thing.
bro. Happy Easter.
We here.
Happy Easter, man.
How you doing?
Doing great. Can't complain.
Yeah, man.
You know, just came back. You know, when you get a little break, you come back feeling good.
Yeah.
Where you coming back from, sir?
Yeah, I was on a cruise. They stopped in Jamaica. That was a family cruise. My nephew, you know, he graduated.
Nice.
He going to UConn, so cruise.
Nice.
Yeah, the whole family was there.
Salute to the Neff.
Okay.
Always good to get with family. A nice little cruise in Jamaica. You had some cargo at my
Everything nice. I was in the islands, you know what I'm saying? That shit nice. I was trying to catch that for Dawn in the chat and tell him, you know what I'm saying? I was out there chilling, man. I had fun on the boat, but if you don't get off to go see those little excursions and different things and just, you know, get a driver to drive you around, you're going to really see the whole trip the way you're supposed to. And I did both, so it was crazy, man.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I didn't really know what was going on because I just let my social media go down. I only had like an app to find my family on the boat. So I didn't know a lot of stuff with the NBA and the Knicks, so it was crazy. So to come back and see all the talk about Mavs and, you know, all the stuff that's going on, it was exciting.
Yeah, they spicy, bro. Mark Cuban, spicy, bro. You know?
Yeah, he gonna say, you know why I know he mad? Because he said he wasn't, you know, it was no tampering, you know what I'm saying? He just felt like he was gonna do this, you know what I mean? He kind of knew what he had, because he's a shrewd business guy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, you see him on the show, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I just.
But it don't always work out in your favor. It's karma. I've been talking about that a lot. You know what I mean? No, it's no expiration on it. That's what he's getting at, and that's why the Knicks is getting a lot of good karma now.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about that later on our show.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know, Dallas. The one thing I've always respected about Cuban is that he's never been afraid to throw his chips in the middle. He's never been afraid to, if he has a star and he gets a star every couple of years, from Dirk to Luka or from Nash, you know, it moves on. He's never afraid of, you know, mixing things up.
Right.
And when something is wrong, like he once gave Eric Dampier a 6-year contract. Let's think about that.
Yeah.
Eric Dampier, who Dirk Nowitzki literally called him out after a playoff, you know, elimination, or I can't remember, was it the elimination or was it after a game or something? And Cuban was like, all right, we'll just move on from Eric Dampier, and they did. So they eventually got the right pieces to when they won their only championship. So, you know, I've always respected him there. He's made some moves like that didn't make sense. Like you had Jalen Brunson in house.
Right.
For some particular reason, they didn't respect Jalen Brunson there.
Okay.
They tried to trade him to the Knicks, during the draft.
Right.
Okay. Right? They wanted a certain dollar figure during the season. They wouldn't come close to it. Then Jalen goes on and gets more than double what him and his agent and Pops originally asked for.
Okay.
So those are questionable decisions that he's made that it backfired on him when you have a star like Luka. And even when they went out and got Kyrie, I understood it.
Right.
I know on the fly, you got two superpowers, USSR, United States on the same team. It's not necessarily going to work out the way you may want it to work out, but I understand it because you need to appease your superstar, which is Luka.
Right.
Okay? The thing is now, what do you do season over?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you take a chance on a Kyrie Irving who's an all-world talent, okay? But he comes with a lot of things. Now their season is over. Where do you go?
Interesting.
Well, he took a risk. You take a risk when you push your chips in at the front of the table a lot. I give it to him. He know how to build his team. But at the end of the day, now Luka is out of there. He looked like he want to be out of there.
Right.
You lose a star, that's tough, especially at that type of star. If you lose Luka, that's serious right there.
Yeah, that's serious.
Yeah, that's serious.
Yeah. It's very serious, but you're not trading him for a bag of chips. See what I'm saying? A player of what's Luka, 25, 26?
Right.
I don't think he's even 26 yet. You're not going to just let him walk out the door for nothing. That's going to be a major trade. What's he going to tell you? I'm not coming to camp?
Right.
We'll see about that.
AD, you know what the funny thing is? Let me first address the super chat. Paris Douglas, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Douglas says, Tibbs will be on a short leash with the Brunsons.
Paris is there with it. The house that has been rebuilt by the Brunsons.
Right. And so let me also say, just point out this thing. You know what? Let me pass. I'm gonna pass because I had the thought and then it escaped me. Y'all pardon me for being because I had the thought and then I did the super chat thing and I lost it. So.
But since we're there, we're back to the original topic, which is, the Brunsons, the house that that's being rebuilt, which is MSG. When I first said that about a month and a half ago, Freezie got so pissed at me. Freezie was like, "Yo, how you gonna say that in the morning chat? You gotta save that for Sunday."
Yeah, I'm like, Hard will do some of that too. Like he'll legit be in a joint and he'll just be throwing gems hitting people with gems all over the place and like a little thing. And I'm like, yo, bro, you got to slow down and talk about these gems that you're throwing around. It's like a jewelry store don't operate in a jeweler don't operate in a grocery store, bro. You know what I'm saying? A jeweler has a spot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so that's the only reason why I say that, AD. Like sometimes we'll say some things, man, and it'll be a gem, and I'm like, nah, bro, we got to talk about that, bro. You can't just throw that out there. We gotta
dig deep into the conversation.
Yeah, we gotta chop that up.
Since then, have you noticed? I think I was watching what's the sit down show on MSG with the comedian with him and his dad. They had a sit down, and I'm like,
right,
okay.
Okay.
Don't believe it if you feel like it, but
right.
there's a new sheriffs in town. There's new sheriffs in town. You know, like Boss Hogg and Roscoe P. Coltrane.
He official too, bro.
You know what I'm saying? There's a new boss in town, and
bro,
it's Jalen.
And you ever notice on the Dukes of Hazzard is genius in the way that they turn stereotypes on their ear, right? Because when you hear Roscoe speak, he speaks as if he's like official tissue. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't be like, yo, this is Roscoe. He like, this is Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Coltrane.
Yeah,
right?
Yo,
they would have never got away with that show today.
Right, bro.
Never got away
right.
with that show today,
bro.
And
that's what I'm saying.
It used to come on Friday nights at about, I think, 8
o'clock
or something
on
like
CBS,
that. On CBS,
yeah.
Right. With the General Lee, which is a car that's draped in the Confederate flag, that's made of the Confederate flag, that was so fast with Bo Duke and Lou Duke, and let's not forget the original Daisy Dukes herself. That put the bim in Daisy Duke's shorts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So every Friday they find a way to capture her bending over.
Right.
Today, whatever they call themselves, that ladies group, they'd have been picketing that whole CBS thing every day. That show would never last more than a week, if a week.
It'd have to come on HBO Max.
Yes. Regular TV, no.
Right.
And definitely.
Yeah, and let me do Justin DW. Justin DW, thank you for the generous contribution. Justin DW says the NBA should take off the protection on the pick. Hey man, I'm honestly thinking that the NBA is going to try to save that franchise. I don't know where Hard Will went. Hard Will disappeared on us.
I think he's having some some camera difficulties. He's going to pop back in.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the AD. You see how I resize and resize. That's also one of the things.
But the funniest thing is
that's one of the things. One of the reasons why I'm like, yo, just come on. But there we go.
I could see Hard Will. I still can't see you.
Yeah, because I'm using my camera in OBS.
Oh,
You can't use one camera in two places.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. So they can see me on a separate screen.
On a separate screen, right.
Yeah, and they can see you and Hard Will. Like they can see Hard Will and the radio and all of that stuff behind him on the joint. Y'all in a separate box, and then there's a chat. The chat is in between us, and then I'm in my own box.
Gotcha.
Right.
No, it's a smooth feel to it.
Yeah, man.
Hard Will, you back, sir?
Yeah, I was on my phone. I had to come in. I tried to send a link. I had to email myself the link.
I would have did that.
Okay.
I know. I just want, it's quicker if I just did it real
Makes
quick.
sense.
Okay.
While y'all was
talking. Okay. Yeah, man. So I understand where you're going with the Brunsons, but my cousin don't care nothing about none of that. He like, yo, y'all don't have no star. Y'all can't shoot, right? Your point guard is a midget. Y'all got a shooting guard that don't shoot. Your R.J. Barrett is not John Morant or Zion. Your coach is not a modern NBA coach. The front office botched the Spider deal. This is what my cousin is telling me about the Knicks. And what I tell him about the Knicks is, so what? All that stuff you said, so what? We here. We still at 47 wins.
Know what I think about it? I think the same way that they slept on Brunson, right? Same way that they didn't see us being in this position, and a lot of us didn't, right?
Right.
That means that them thinking that we can't win is not all the way true. Because when they come out and report saying that they dropped the ball on Brunson and certain things, remember, a lot of people narrative chase. A lot of people try to stick with what they said. Me, if I didn't see it, I admit it, and I try to cover the game from there on. It's fair. It's like how it was with me this whole season with Randall. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't fair to say anything that he didn't do wrong. Even it wasn't fair to nitpick. Another good point is if by him getting hurt, give him enough rest, and Brunson's going to go off or play good because he already did play good on this stage before. My only problem was I wasn't sure if Randall was going to be that great on this stage because I never really seen him do it.
Right.
But with Brunson, and him should have some energy, and Randall coming back with energy, I think, man, maybe they could do something against Cleveland. And my thing is, even if we give Cleveland a good fight, we still in a great position, considering that we was about to give up all that for Spider, and they could barely beat us. Or if we lose bad, then that's another conversation. But I don't think with Brunson playing on the stage before, like I just explained, and what Randall could do, and you know, all the other players that started to come alive and play better basketball is starting to do, that wouldn't have been a good trade. So you know those guys are going to play good, at least decent basketball for us in the playoffs, or play their roles, you know, quickly should give us something in the playoffs, and Grimes and all these guys. And to me, that's a good thing because you need guys like that to come in and help once the main guys really cook up things and get you rolling. And that's why I started off saying Brunson playing good on that stage. He's going to bring it. You know what I mean? Everybody else got to bring it. So that's what I'm waiting to see. But I think my last point is we have a good chance because people counted him out. People didn't expect Brunson to be this good. Let's keep it real. I always knew he was good, but he had to prove it. So when you get the opportunity to prove it, you get on the stage, then you change your own narrative. People can't write. You know what I'm saying? He just cooked up Spider in the Garden. Spider sitting on the podium like this. He didn't like that, bro. You think Spider wanted to come back to the Garden and lose? So my thing is, people are narrative chase a lot, and they don't really say what could really happen. This is basketball, bro. Shit changes in basketball.
Right.
And like I said with the Knicks, it's going to go our way now. That's how I feel about it personally. It's just how I feel. I think it's just going to go our way. I'm not saying we're going to win a chip, but a lot of things working out in our favor.
This is just the time to circle. This is just the time to circle the wagon. You understand what I'm saying? Like 2 weeks ago, you had chirpings out of Mitch. He's not getting the ball. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. This one is chirping. Oh, Jay's unhappy. This is not the time anymore. That was the regular season. You see, now is the time to harness your role. You understand? Do what you do well. Brunson's the star. Okay? If Julius comes back in this first round, okay, fine. But don't come back in trying to be the same guy that left off at 25-10 pre-ankle. Come get in, you know what I'm saying? Work your way in, especially if you're not healthy, because you know hard. You played this game. A high ankle sprain, that's possible. They're probably not even telling us if there was any ligament damage. Because immediately after he got hurt, it was, we're shutting him down. He's to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. You don't hear that with a high ankle sprain. High ankle sprains you hear day to day. If you're going to ice it, it's day to day. See what I'm saying? So it made me believe that maybe there's a little something else there that they're not saying. He's walking around in a boot.
Well, I think depending on his injury, that's always going to factor in. But with Julius Randle being 100% as far as his ankle, right? Being that he didn't play, and that's maybe why they rest him a little longer, because he needs the rest anyway. But rest him longer. Now, let's say his ankle is better, right? Hopefully, right? Now, I agree with what you just said, because I said it earlier. He has to be willing to because Brunson got the ball, and we don't have time to be worried about second fiddle or who this and that. We let the game decide. We all play. They play good basketball this year. We don't have time to have problems right now. That doesn't make sense to me. But the Mitch situation was far back, and I think Mitch cleared that up when he said, yo, I'm going to just focus on my job, and then he came and did his job. That wasn't really nothing. That was just Mitch writing a joke, saying something on a Twitter rant. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, I think but I agree. If Randall is not 100%, we can't expect somebody else to go and fill in what he was doing this season. That's just facts. You're not going to get that because the game is going up another notch, and a lot of these guys never played on that level. That's why in my take I was saying hopefully he can continue to play and prove on that level too, because Brunson did prove he could play on that level already. You know what I'm saying? Now, have his own team and have to will them far on his own, he ain't going to be able to do that. He's going to need help. You know what I mean? So that's with that being said. And then remember, when Brunson did that, they had a unit over there in Dallas. Those dudes played together. You know what I'm saying? They and we got something like that right now. I don't think our guys don't get along, bro. Like, they young. You know what I'm saying? They all got, I was shocked when I saw RJ and Obi but that, to me, that's human, bro. That's what happens in basketball. When I was on teams, you know how many fights and, you know what I'm saying, arguments and stuff like that used to be?
Yeah.
That comes with the game, bro. If you ain't arguing, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's what my coach used to say. If y'all ain't arguing and fighting, something ain't right. Because we all from the mud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You remember in...
You know me, we be on here. We be foaming at the mouth. So imagine how it was for basketball.
Absolutely. Remember in that movie Above the Rim? In the beginning of the movie, what's my dude who's the actor? He was a major baller back in his day.
You talking about Sunset Park?
You talking about my man? You talking about my man? The Mad Movie.
You talking about Leon?
No, not even Leon, because Leon went to like Division 2.
He looked like Vince Carter a little bit.
Dwayne.
Yeah, Dwayne. You got it.
God, his name is Skip. He was married to.
You talking about Dwayne Martin?
Yes, Dwayne Martin, right? Yeah. And how it starts, he's playing against Montrose. The white dude who's being scouted by whoever.
This week they found out he got cancer.
Who? Dwayne Martin?
No, Montrose.
Oh wow, who? Eric Montrose?
Yeah, that's sad, bro.
Wow,
that's
for real.
Yeah, that's
for
sad,
real.
Man.
But as it's moving on, because even Pee Wee Kirkland is in that movie. Pee Wee Kirkland is playing the scout, and Martin is doing this thing. I got you, son. This is it. The last shot. Bang, 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 bang. And he misses the last shot, which is the beginning of the movie. In the locker room, the big dude who was like the 6'8", 6'9" power forward, he is losing it. And he's like, yo, how did it feel to have Montrose make you his B? Right? And they're about to go toe-to-toe. He's like, yo, you should have got the rebound. Blah, 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 blah. So stuff like that is going to happen.
Guards will do that, bro. You ever played with a point guard, bro? Point guards is like big man supposed to screen and rebound. You're like, what? Bro, it's ball, bro. Everybody playing together. I take this shot till you gather up all my missed shots. Come on, bro. That don't even make sense. I'm out here supposed to just gather up your missed shots. Come on, big dog.
Exactly. But it's the smart point guard who knows to give a little something every now and again.
Bro,
Magic Johnson used to give Kurt Rambis something every now and again.
Yeah, man, it's a team game, bro.
Right? But Kurt wasn't going to post up against the Celtics.
Nah.
He may post up against Sacramento.
Yeah. On
an off night, a team that you're supposed to beat.
Right.
But versus someone that we can't take no nights off on. Get out of that post. That post is for Kareem.
Yeah, get out of that post, bro. Yo, you in James Worthy driving lane, bro. How about you? You know what I'm saying? Come on.
And it's the respect of the floor general that you have to have, especially if he's a good floor general.
Yeah, smash that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure
Quickly's
y'all see that. Okay, AD.
Absolutely. I look at Quickly's game. Tell me, as Quickly has been growing this season, you don't see a little Brunson in Quickly's game.
No.
I do.
I don't.
I've seen in his footwork and just in his ball handling.
Okay. The foot, that post move. Okay, I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not just the passes you get; it's the way you carry yourself on the floor.
Okay.
You seen this dude who's 5'11", maybe, and in that stretch in what was it, January through February, when he looked like he was walking on water, when he was hitting damn near everything.
Right.
Even some Knicks fans were, well, you know, he's shooting too much. What? What games were you watching?
Let me. There was a top. You brought up the topic. We can't. You gotta let me set up the topic so we can.
Set it up. Set it up, Freezie.
Right.
So set it up, Freezie.
So the thing is,
you the maestro of this.
The thing is, I was throwing shade at point guards. Y'all know I was trolling. You got to have a good point guard in order to have a good basketball team at any level. It don't matter what level you at. If you don't have a good point guard, for the most part you may not have a good team, right? But here's the thing. So the Knicks have a good point guard, right? But it's not just on the floor. It's behind the scenes too, right? He's a leader, like on the floor and off the floor. And for the most part, the Knicks have not had that right there since Clyde Frazier. Now, the Knicks have had talented players on the floor at the point guard position, but a talented leader point guard on the floor and off the floor, and somebody then because for my mind, one of the smartest point guards we've had in the last 20 years is a cat named Pablo Prigioni, right? But
yes.
was he a talented ball player, and was he a leader in the locker room? No. And it's not that he wasn't a leader; it was just a strong language barrier that even exists today. You know what I'm saying? And he hadn't played in years, right? But the thing about Brunson is Brunson brings levity, gravity to his position where you have to respect his ability on the floor, which frees up others on the floor to do their things, develop, knock down shots, defend, a lot of stuff. But he also orchestrates on the floor, is a unselfish and willing passer, and he does a lot of things off the floor. Like, for one thing, he ain't afraid to tell you how he feel. He a G. Like, if he messing up, he gonna come to you and tell you. And
I heard that.
Yeah, and he don't have to do that. He don't have to yell at you. He just be like man to man. Kind of like Rick Brunson, the same way. Like,
they raised him right, Freezie.
Yeah. And so what I think that brings to this organization is a level of code that was missing. Like a level of man-to-man stuff that had been missing from this organization since Willis Reed has been here. Not even the Pat Ewing years did the Knicks have a player that had the respect of the locker room and the organization where everything balanced itself out upon a guy stepping foot in Madison Square Garden. Right? Because even though I love Pat wasn't a great leader, not like Willis Reed, right? And I think Jalen Brunson in his first 70 or so games, and I know it's a small sample size, but one could look at the Dallas Mavericks falling apart and the Knicks coming together and say that Jalen Brunson is the string that bound all those things together, right? You got, you got you know what I'm saying? Now you got Mark Cuban out here sounding like Cheddar Bob on social media. You know what I'm saying? The only thing he missing is accidentally wounding himself out here on social media, right? And then you got the Knicks throughout all of. There were a ton of things that could have flared up this season, but they didn't. And I think it's because Jalen Brunson is here, but not just Jalen. I think it's also because Rick is here. You know what I'm saying? Because Rick is also the guy that is a dude that quells certain stuff. And I'm one to let you know that leadership and balanced personalities, right, can help any organization stop itself from internally combusting. Right now, the absence of Jalen Brunson in Dallas got the star out here contemplating how long he gonna play in the league, and the owner out here blaming somebody mama about basketball. You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile,
Freeze, you know what I think?
yeah.
I think it's more like chess too with Mark Cuban because I think he feel like if they're not gonna win. Take for instance, right? Like you see how they just got that pick. Now that pick could turn into a good pick because this draft got some talent in it. You know, and he feel like we're not gonna win this year. Just looking at what's going on for them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he's gonna keep Kyrie or how that works out, but he still can change, or if he lose Luka, that's another conversation. But it's only going to be one winner. And I feel like when you see the situation was going on, he just adapted to the situation to make it work out for his team. You know what I mean? He couldn't fix it as far as what he did with Brunson. You got to take that on the chin. There's no denying it at all. They failed on that. They made a big mistake. That's it. Only part I looked at it with when he tried to say it was Brunson's senior that had the part in it. You know what I mean? That's kind of like trying to reflect on like he knew like Brunson was gonna be this. No, you didn't, because you would have just paid him and just got it out of the way, and then you would have had your team grow and be better. But as far as
wait. You just said two things before you get to the third one. Let me. I don't want you to forget what you're about to say for the third one. But listen. Let me ask you this. I'm just asking you this. This ain't got nothing to do with fans and Knicks and this is like a man-to-man question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
When has a man ever made a major decision without consulting his family?
Not really. You shouldn't do that.
So, but Cuban is out here talking about Jalen Brunson's parents and others got involved with his decision to stay in Dallas.
I mean, they're supposed to be involved anyway.
Right. Does that just tells you that man is desperate and will go to any means to sully what Jalen Brunson and his family is doing in New York?
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I agree, because he made a mistake.
Right.
It's the same point again. He made a big mistake on that, and there's no way around it. You can't point the blame. Like you said, that's a great point. Because I'm gonna talk to my father, my family, regardless about making a decision. It was only a couple things like the tax thing they talked about when I heard some stuff like where it would have been some money thing with the tax, but that goes to show right there that he walked away by coming to the Knicks. He paid more here in taxes, but that's how much.
But how he gonna pinch that? But how is he gonna pinch that man's pennies? You can't exist in somebody else's pocket, bro.
You know what it is? It's what we was talking about earlier, right? His demeanor, how he was raised, and that's why I like people could even grow to be that way, right? But when you know what it is, it's like you could see. It's like karma. I'd rather lose money and not be around, people that's trying to get me or play me or don't believe in my dream.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it was easy probably for Brunson to say, I'd rather go be a Knick. They taking long to pay me. I might save some money in taxes over there, but I'd rather go where I'm going to get love at and people can believe in me, because Leon and them believed in him, because it's more like a family thing. So
let me add another detail too, though. Let me add another detail to what you're saying. Right? So for the most part, second round picks, Mitchell Robinson's contract, right? He got a 2 + 1 + 1, right? And most teams, what they do is when they get a second round pick, they give them these opt out, team friendly contracts. So if the second round pick plays like a second round pick, they can get out from that contract. But what they did is they locked Jalen Brunson in that indentured servitude contract for 4 years. When Jalen Brunson was outperforming his money, when Jalen Brunson was outperforming that contract, they could have went to Jalen Brunson and was like, yo, let's tear this thing up and start all over. Right? Now, we're not letting you leave, right? But how about we do like a 2 + 1 where we bump you up about $1 million a year, and next year we'll revisit, right? They kept him in that contract for 4 years, making low second round pick money, and now they mad that he left for the bag, right? Mitchell Robinson, if you remember, Mitch was on a 2+1+1 deal, right? Mitch was getting paid pennies, right? Pennies. It'd be like at one point, the Knicks were signing veteran free agents that made more than Mitch, right? But when it came time to offer Mitch the thing, they gave him the bag off rip. No, Mitch, you're not leaving, right? Dallas didn't do that. Dallas kept him in that bad contract for 4 years without the opportunity to negotiate anything. And when it came time for Jalen Brunson to leave, guess what Jalen Brunson did?
He left.
So what does that have to do with Jalen Brunson? Bro, you put him in that 4-year deal where he wasn't making no money. Sure, Texas don't have state taxes, but what does that mean when you're in a 4-year deal and you making like $3 million? What does that mean?
Well, they didn't.
It was important.
They didn't see it like that.
Nah, it was
Of course they didn't, bro.
It was important for him when he signing that much money, though, Freezie. That's the whole point of it. When he signs the new deal that he was up for, because he earned his new deal.
He earned
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but still, if he signs it, their reference to this, a difference in how much he paid tax on that too.
I know, but what I'm saying is my man was in a deal where he made pennies compared to everybody else that kept coming in and out of that locker room. And in about year two, he outperformed his deal. So then he had to sit through year 3, right, where he was like the third or fourth best player on the roster. Year 3, and year 4, he was the second best player on the roster, and he played through all of that, right? And then you're gonna tell me like, not man, we're gonna give you.
You see, Freezie, Cuban didn't do this when he had a chance to get DeAndre Jordan, and at the last second, the entire Clippers organization swooped down to Dallas, and they refused to let him leave the hotel unless he was coming back home with them. He had a deal in place with Dallas.
Right, I know this, yeah.
See, we forget about that. He forgets about that. This is business, my guy.
This is business, bro.
This is business. Unless you have a signed contract, okay, you don't got nothing. Okay? One of the stupidest maneuvers that we ever seen in this NBA was when, besides this Jalen Brunson thing, remember when Carlos Boozer was with Cleveland?
Yeah.
Carlos Boozer was a second-round pick who outplayed his deal.
Right.
Cleveland thought they were doing, I think, Jim Paxton was the general manager.
So he was doing him a courtesy.
They thought they was doing him a courtesy. It's like, yo, dude, we're gonna do you this solid. You see, we got the next. We're
gonna give you a $2 million raise.
Yep, we're gonna give you a $2 million raise. That's all we can give you as far as the league rules at that time.
Right.
What was bargained.
But Utah gave him a $14 million raise.
That man, they got off the moment they let him out of that deal. His agent, who had to have been negotiating with teams already.
That's his job, though.
Right? Because that's his job, but that's also tampering.
Right.
Okay? The league didn't say anything because if you remember, Kenyon Martin was on his way to Utah to go talk to them. They stopped him dead at the airport. Don't come.
We got our man.
Not only we got Carlos Boozer, but catch this, Momenta Kerr is coming as well.
Yep.
Remember that? They literally got two bigs to go along with Deron Williams immediately. And Jim Paxton, someone could correct me in the chat. I don't think he's gotten the head off his job since then.
You talking about Pax and Golf Foreman?
Yeah.
No, they was terrible.
Right, because you opened, and that's one of the reasons. Because that's how Danny Ferry got the big chair in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because of that faux pas.
Yeah. Because
at that time, the talk was, LeBron needs a power forward. LeBron needs but you already had the power forward. You let him go. So you had to keep getting these hard-working Ilgauskas and what was the cat with the mopsy flopsy looking hair. They brought him in. They kept paying. You know, what's my guy? They got he was at Philly for a hot second. The shooting guard who Hughes. They paid Hughes. They brought in Mo Williams. They kept getting guys that they weren't star players, but they could never get that piece. They could never get that piece while LeBron was there. Till finally LeBron was like, "Yo, I'm out." And it came from that one mistake,
right,
which was to let a second rounder go. They thought they was doing him a favor, which they was,
right.
but Utah said, "We're gonna give you this 5-year, $68 million deal. What you trying to do?"
Yeah, but AD, what I'm talking about with Jalen Brunson, because all of that is factual. I don't discount that. What I'm saying about Jalen Brunson is man, people discount how you treat people. That is my point. How you treat people is just as, or maybe more important than the money that you make. Because not only were they not paying them, they didn't even entertain the thought of getting right with him. When he was like at one point their third best player and then their second best player, they were paying him like he was a two-way player. And then when it came time for him to get the bag, they like, yeah, we'll take our time and we'll negotiate. Nah, you ain't taking no time and trying to get my paper right. You know what I'm saying? You gonna tell me you gonna take, and then you gonna cry about it on national TV like, yo, he didn't even give us the chance to get his paper right. Oh no. You had 2.5 years before this day to get this paper right, and you chose not to. Nah, you don't play with people. You don't play with you don't disrespect people, right? Because you're in a position of authority, and you don't play with their paper.
And they didn't get his dad on board. You see, that was important as well. What did the Knicks do? Remember when they signed Rick Brunson? All you kept hearing, what is this, college recruiting?
That's what they ain't like, though.
Yeah.
They probably ain't like that they had to do that. But you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
Right.
You got to do what you got to do. What is this, college recruiting?
But maybe they didn't see the vision, though.
Yeah.
That's the point, though. They just dropped the ball on that because they knew. That's why all of this coming out, AD. That's why I brought it up, because I feel like they didn't know he was going to do this, bro. That's why I'm saying they can't say that we can't go and be the team. Right. And that was why I said that about the first take. Now, if Randy was not 100%, that's different.
Right.
But they dropped the ball on Brunson. He's
all
like
the way around.
He was dubbed. He was snubbed on being an All-Star this year, right? But he will be a perennial All-Star
going forward. Yeah.
Yes, he will.
You know what they could have did, because the Knicks
can't drop the ball on nothing like that, especially when your team come from the NBA, the Western Conference Final. And that's what I wanted to say too. Why they was trying to go, but Cuban dropped the ball, bro.
Yeah, but that thing, bro, for a second round pick, you locked him into a 4-year deal, and he wasn't making first round pick money. That's mad disrespectful, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's mad disrespectful. You got to let them second round picks live, because he way outperformed. Because the thing is a first round pick. If Jalen Brunson performed like that on a first round picks contract, he would be looking at the rookie max extension with Dallas. But notice that it was never a part of the conversation, right? Because Jalen Brunson is a second round pick. He's not eligible, right? So now all these side factors come into play that most fans don't even look at. Because think about this. What if I said R.J. Barrett or let me say this, Quentin Grimes, right? Quentin Grimes is eligible to get a rookie max extension. We'll be like, yeah, man, Grimes, he ain't really played up to rookie max extension money and blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. And we'll have the conversation about that, right? But for a second round pick, that conversation never even comes into play, right? It never even comes into play. So it's one of them things with Jalen Brunson and the Mavericks. The Mavericks had all the time in the world to have that conversation before Brunson even got to year 4, right? You remember
they just didn't believe in him.
Or they took him for granted.
They took him for granted. It's the same thing, and this is sports. It's business.
Right.
Okay, look at Isaiah Thomas, 2 with Boston. pre-hip injury. Remember that?
Yep.
Isaiah Thomas was literally carrying that Boston team.
The franchise, yes.
Carrying the franchise, right?
That
I think
franchise it should have been a lottery team.
Died.
Right? Yep, you remember in the car crash?
Yeah, his sister died. They were literally playing on the heartstrings of America with that.
Right.
You know, oh, look at him, the Mighty Mouse. He's out here playing. His sisters died, and the news and the media, they're all out there championing him. And the moment he cracked that hip, and he was no longer going to get that $100 million contract, it became a real business for him. Because they basically was like, the inn is closed. There's no more vacancies.
Right. But can you blame Danny Ainge?
I can't, because it's business.
Because it's business. Right. Right.
You see, it's business. And he took that professional gratitude as it's love.
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? When a person comes out and tells you that they love you, baby, I don't care if you knee deep in it.
Right.
You understand? You're gonna get out of it you're gonna get out of it in a hot second.
Right.
Some of us a little longer.
Right.
You're gonna get out of it.
Some of us that are the glutton for punishment, it takes us a little bit longer for it.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get out of it in a second, and then that love will trick you, because they're telling you, we're going to show you the finest homes out here and this, that, and the third and blah, 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 and all of that. You don't got to worry about that. What do you need? You need a passport? You don't need no damn passport. Get on the team plane. We good, baby.
Good. Hey, how it will. But think about this. If the Isaiah Thomas injury thing never happens, right, would you blame Isaiah Thomas for making them give him the max? No. Right? Because it's business, right? You see how it go both ways? The thing with Jalen Brunson is it was never a thing that can go both ways, and for that reason, Jalen Brunson is in New York.
And
I'm sure he used Mark Cuban words. He probably told Mark Cuban. He probably looked Mark Cuban in his eyes and said, "For that reason, I'm out." to borrow a Shark Tank quote, you know what I'm saying?
Because that's what it is. It's only one thing it could be. They didn't think he could do what he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? Simple. You know what I mean? It's a price for everything, because he know the market went up anyway, and the way he's playing, he probably could have made more than what he even got from us.
Right.
So when you think what he could have got him for, he could have got it for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because he would have been like, look, this is how you know he dropped the ball, because if you know what you seen him doing in real time and from when you had him,
right,
why wouldn't you keep him? Don't make sense to me.
Right. Hardwood, think about 3 years ago. They could have just went to that man and was like, yo, JB, listen, what we'll do is we'll tear up these last 2 years and offer you 4 years, $60 million. And he would have been making 15 mil a year. AD, he would have been making 15 mil a year, and we would not be having
that's knowing
that's
knowing what you have and making the right moves with your team, because you don't want to lose those good players. That, especially what he did after he did that for them when they went to the final, when they went to the Western Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's something they should be looking at to lock him in. But if they didn't even have that in line with what happened and what came out to the media about the whole situation, that proves they dropped the ball major on that one. You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of players coming in the second round, so people got to stop thinking it's not a reality. We have second-round NBA players that's out here killing.
Right.
Yeah, that's out here killing. And not just that. Here's something that it's the elephant in the room, and people won't want to admit this. There's a dude on ESPN, Tim Legler. We all know him. Yeah. I've always liked his analysis. I thought he was never necessarily biased. Well, when I've heard him.
Right.
And he was talking about Jalen Brunson and how many games he watched from Villanova, even being in practices. And he's like, yo, I just never saw it. I just never thought he was going to be this good and blah, 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 blah. What he refused to acknowledge, what so many people refuse to acknowledge, that there is an inherent, innate bias against small people.
Small guards, too.
Small guards. Because he is small, you never think that he can be the engine that can carry you for more than a game or two.
Right.
That's really what people don't want to focus on, right? He's small, he can't do it. Like big people don't get hurt.
We had them all. We had them all our life. AD, you know that AI. Come on, it's tons of them. I could name tons of little guards.
I bet you I can name one.
Can't guard him.
I can't
guard him.
I can name one that
just named one Freezie a little while ago, even though he got hurt. And that's why he was mentioned, Freezie, because he was going off with that headband in Boston. Isaiah Thomas was going crazy, just the same way Brunson was. Isaiah Thomas was doing the same exact thing, and nobody could deny that.
Right.
Let's keep it real.
But my point is for every one of those guys, there were other small guys in NBA history that people disrespect because they're not big people, right?
Fact.
Like I'll name one right now, right? Calvin Murphy.
I was thinking Calvin Murphy.
Calvin Murphy was probably the most dynamic under 6 foot guard until Allen Iverson. Calvin Murphy legit struck the fear in NBA players, but since he was a 5'9" guard playing at the same time, the Lakers had a 6'9" guard. He's overshadowed both figuratively and literally. You know what I'm saying? But Calvin Murphy was that guy, bro. Calvin Murphy was an assassin on the court, bro. But and then the thing about Jalen Brunson too that I keep wanting to say to everybody and reiterate, Jalen Brunson is short. He is not little. Jalen Brunson looks like a defensive back, bro. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson is like,
I think he's bigger than Nate.
Yeah, that dude Jalen Brunson is like 200 pounds, bro.
Man, who's bigger than Nate, but not as physical as Nate was, or as athletically gifted as Nate.
Right.
But there's a lot of these guys that are, since the beginning of time. Right. Pac with Denver. He wasn't a big dude neither. But because you're small, it's like, it's nice right now. You're doing okay. Your replacement is just around the corner. That's basically the mindset.
Right. And Robert Pack, too, it was unfortunate that he backed up Chris Jackson. Or Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. You know what I'm saying? He backed up Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. You know what I'm saying? So that'll kind of get you overshadowed too. You know what I'm saying? Because Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf had a lot of stuff.
But he did take Denver to heights that Mahmoud didn't.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Mahmoud did.
You got to remember though, the game was so different back then. It's harder to give guards the props really because it was more of a big man game.
Right.
Like how when we talk about guards now, like the Lillards and them.
Right.
They could really go off that way more, reference to the way the game is played changed so much. You know what I mean? And if you play the game, you know that. It's like I always use myself for example sometimes when I used to do certain moves, coach used to say you can't do that or even the ref would call it. Then I seen Iverson doing it in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it be. Then you use that for inspiration.
Right.
Because it went from being conventional to being entertainment.
Right.
Then not from just going all the way to passing it down low to the big man to guards getting in there trying to score. If the big man get open, then he'll get the ball. So really what that means, it goes with what we talking about, Freezie. You know why? Because they get bigger guards now out there, so it's like for positionless basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to play more than one position. And if you short and you really not good, then you in trouble.
You remember
move you over. Me and my brother-in-law were just talking about that. We can't move you over to the 2 or the 3, and that's what we love about my nephew. He can go out there and play the 1, the 2, or the 3.
Right.
6, 7 point guard. You know what I mean? So, like, you got to be able to play more than one position. And if Brunson wasn't that good, he's confident at the point of attack. He always been like that. You know what I mean? Like you said earlier, he's a leader, and he holds people accountable in the right way. And I think all of that stuff makes it click and makes it work. You know what I mean? So he just gotta it's hard though, Freezie. Like,
but I'm trying to ask you and AD though, what does this have to do with the Brunsons and how they rebuilt MSG? That's what I was trying to. Not to say I don't enjoy the point guard conversation because I think you're right. Because there are other names that we don't mention like Mark Price and Dana Barros. right?
But it's many of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ton of.
We forget so many.
Right.
We could go on about that. You're right.
On it. Yeah, it's so many. But just AD real quick before we hop on, because the Knicks play in like 20 minutes, right? But what I wanted to talk to AD about just real quick before we go, no disrespect to the topic, because we probably gonna have to touch on this again, right? But in fairness to what the topic that AD put out here, the MSG, the house rebuilt by the Brunsons. AD, is there one or two, or are there one or two specific things about the Brunsons in general? Because you didn't just say Jalen Brunsons, you mentioned the Brunsons. So are there one or two specific things you want to touch on before we get out of here?
I think his dad playing for the Knicks, and we forget that because there isn't many highlights of Rick Brunson, in the Knicks. I think the best highlight I seen I was searching for it the other day, was after Allen Houston hit that Game 5 shot. He might have been the first dude to hit the floor.
Right.
Rick curly hair Rick was on the floor. Rick was damn near doing a windbreak. Rick was, what I'm saying? Rick was doing everything. But the importance of it is they attach themselves, and to Knick management's credit,
okay,
they saw how important it was to loop his dad in.
Okay.
You understand? And not only that, Tibbs, they watched Rick grow from since he was a kid. So he's like an extended part of the family.
Okay.
So it's like, we're not only going to get you.
So Rick Brunson is a valuable piece. How?
Absolutely, because that's his DNA.
Yeah, he helped Freezie. He helped seal the deal. And him, remember, he worked with Tibbs and Leon. It's like his godson or something like that. But the question in reference to your answer, like, it makes sense to do what they did to put him in position like that, because the Mavs didn't want to do it. So if he's saying it's his, he run it, he is. He's sitting on the bench, and Brunson is running it too, because he's holding everybody accountable. He got it from his dad.
Okay.
And you know what? Maybe, because I watched the documentary of them 6 months ago. The training, the philosophy, how he gave, putting certain carrots in front of Rick, and okay, you got to this level, let's get to the next level.
In front of Jalen.
I'm sorry, in front of Jalen, let's get to this level, let's get to that level. Maybe some of that sauce Rick can bring in for some of our other young players here. And him being a vital asset in that. I think y'all missing.
I'm gonna throw something out.
Let me throw.
I don't want to forget it. Hey, let me throw this in there because I think it's one thing that y'all skipping over. The one thing is this: the thing with Jalen Brunson and Rick is Rick was the same type of player at Temple, and like these leadership things, like everywhere Rick Brunson goes, he's a leader of men, not just Jalen. Like, I think we're pushing it like 95% Jalen and 5% Rick. And I think it's 60% Rick and 40% Jalen. Whereas when Obi comes off the floor, RJ come off the floor, whatever, Jalen Brunson don't have to say nothing to him. The Knicks hired Rick Brunson because the dude can coach is a good communicator of men, right? That's one of the things that we forget about Rick Brunson playing at Temple under Don Chaney, right?
Yes.
And these things that he learned through that, and it brings that to basketball life every day. Now, what I'm saying is ultimately, I think Rick Brunson is an excellent leader, and Jalen Brunson is an excellent leader. Now you're getting leadership from a player's perspective and a coach's perspective. And it's one of those things that the Knicks had not been getting for decades. I just wanted to throw that in there, Hartwell. My bad. I just wanted to make sure I got that in, because I think we were heading to a thing where it's all about Jalen Brunson. I just don't think it is.
No, what I was going to say before was they brought into this. They kind of, you got to give them credit for this working too, and all of this coming out with Cuban and all of that. That's just, like y'all said, they trying to not get these guys credit, acting like they knew, or they saying he just he just did some grimy stuff. You know how people do that, Freezie?
Right.
They like, no, he did some grimy. No, you dropped the ball. You should have paid that man. That's the real deal. So you got to give those guys credit. You know what I'm saying? For doing that and working out for them. But I understand the 60-40 split, but I would say split it in half then to make it even. He still got to go and play. Right. The reason why the father even get that much points from me, because he was teaching him as a little guy, and he's still teaching him. Right. But you got to give a kid as much credit for listening and then doing it on the court. Right. So I say it's both of them together, because it's not easy. Right. Looking at how my nephew or other kids, you need your father there. It's a lot of decisions. A lot of kids want to play. It's good to have family who play and know how to play. You know what I'm saying? So you can get the right information. Just like you made a great point. He's supposed to go to his family anyway. I got your metaphor, and it was great. So a lot of people don't pay attention to that.
Hold on right there, Hard, because I want to piggyback on right there, because me and Freezie talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I think Freezie thought that was being really hard on Ja Morant and Ja's dad, okay? Right. But that's the total opposite of this situation, okay? Because Rick didn't allow Jalen to blow the bag, you see? Rick is not out here on the sideline being an absolute buffoon on the sidelines out here and doesn't understand like what's going on with his son.
Okay, all right. So that's out of bounds. So
hold on.
No, I'm not holding on, and that's a whack opinion.
No, but my opinion
is not
because
T them classy. They don't act like
but I can, but
they only went across the line. They only went across the line. Nah, they only went across the line when this dude, when this arrogant millionaire was disrespecting his son. If you a man and you watching your son be disrespected by some random dude, you gonna sit there and take it? No.
He's not a part. That's what the NBA and team security is for. You pointed out, okay? You pointed out. You have him removed out of the game. It's not about you trying to get your celebrity shine on.
Bro, I'm not watching my son.
You're gonna sit here and tell me, Freezie, that you haven't seen
because I don't care about no arena. I don't care about no jury. I don't care about no bread. If a grown man talking that yap to my son, I'm going in his mouth.
Freezie, again.
Bro,
that's what the NBA. That's why they have security there.
Right.
Where
was the security
at? So allow them to do their job.
Where was security at? Where were they at?
Point them out.
Where were they at? Where's the security at?
I don't know, but you know what? I know where he was at.
They were not there. Hard will. If you there with your nephew and you see dudes crossing the line with your nephew, you go into security. Hey, Daddy, go over there.
That's why it's somebody for everything. I was just talking about that too. Like, see, maybe Jalen Brunson pops can't get involved in that. Maybe I'll be the one that's gonna knock you out, or one of my other cousins or somebody. And the pops would just be over there, like, cause it's so much bad media, especially in New York. You know, now the era with social media, everybody's recording. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even about that you can't do it. It's about the lawsuit. It's like giving away free millions.
Yeah,
you know so I agree with you when you first said it, but when because look, Freezie, I'm a Gemini, so I got my business side.
Gemini's in the building.
We just not here,
but first it was Queens. First it was my Queens. I'm popping off right away, so I'm still dealing with all that. So I'm trying to be the new me. So that's why I was all in at first. I was like, yeah, Freezie, I'm popping off automatically. Then I start thinking about the millions. I don't know. I might not hit nobody.
Right? No. I know. I got you. But those two things are different.
They might try to sue my sister. Nah, bro.
Right. Nah, I got you. But the thing, why this thing is separate, why I think it's a cheap shot on Ja Morant and T. Right? It's a cheap shot. AD, that was low, bro. Because for one, Rick Brunson is an NBA employee. T is not.
Yeah, T is not.
Hold on a second.
Right,
he lose the money though, Freezie.
Right, that's what I'm saying. All right. So that's one thing, right? The other thing to it too is it's not like Ja Morant called out Shannon Sharpe on television for 3 weeks before that, and then went to Shannon Sharp's show. Shannon Sharp had been calling out this young kid for weeks before that, and then showed up to the game to incite the altercation, right? And instead of you saying instead of you saying Shannon Sharp is wrong for being a rich millionaire picking on a young kid, you were saying that his pops is wrong for inciting a riot.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
That's a father's instincts.
Okay, you're right. That's a father's instinct. Because I remember P. Diddy taking a cowbell, right, and throwing it when his son was playing. Was it UCLA or USC? I'm not doubting that.
Right.
I'm talking about the constant you being in the limelight. You being out there in the limelight while your son is having issues, is having problems where the bag is about to go. You understand? The bag is about to go. He wasn't even talking to Ja. He was talking to somebody else. All of a sudden, Ja being a part of the team comes over because Shannon is now, come here. You don't want none of this. I'm Shannon Sharp. All right, you don't want none of this.
Shannon Sharp said John Morant name up to 3 weeks before that. It's like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. People was like, "Yo, Will Smith out here wilding." No, Chris Rock was talking trash about Will Smith and his wife for 4 years, and then he gonna try to do it in his face. No.
Is that where we're going? So you're not supposed to have some kind of self-control?
No.
You're not supposed to have some proper decorum in the public? Is that what we're teaching the youth? Huh?
No, oh.
So the next time the teacher tells the little kid, you know what, you're bad at math, your mother can come up here and smack the teacher in the face.
So
is
it's
that
okay.
what we're doing?
It's okay for Chris Rock to call his wife a bald-head bitch that looked like G.I. Jane. That's a joke, right? Ha ha ha. That's funny. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But it's not funny when Will Smith smacked him in the mouth. That's not funny.
He wouldn't have smacked a white man. Okay?
I would think the white guy would not have told that joke.
If that was what's the name up there,
the white man would not have told no joke like that.
Oh my God! Stop it!
For 4 years.
It's easy. It's easy for him to do it because he's a brother who was 150 pounds. It's easy for him to do that.
Well, he was 150 pounds when he was telling them jokes. It wasn't like he lost weight after he told the joke.
He's a paid comedian, Freezie. He was a paid
He wasn't 300 pounds telling them jokes and then lost weight when he got slapped, bro. I'm not giving television.
You're inciting violence.
No,
Freezie.
bro, you cannot give television personalities a pass just because they have a microphone. Just because you got a mic don't mean you get a pass. You have a responsibility to be responsible when you speak.
Do you remember Will sitting there and laughing when he first heard the joke? Because everybody saw it. Right. It's not until his wife looked at him and said, "Really?" Or how about when his wife made him to look like a fool on a red table, when him sitting up there looking like a deranged lunatic?
Right. Right.
Did we forget that?
I mean,
was his wife being funny then?
I mean, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I have seen dudes' wife tell their husband, like, yeah, this dude over here just being disrespectful to me, and it's the husband's job to settle that issue right then on the spot.
There's a lot of dead settlers out there too. Don't ever forget that.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Don't ever forget that.
I just think
there's a lot of brave dudes that brave in front of their women laid out.
Right.
Unmarked graves.
Right. Right. And then there's a whole bunch of dudes that tell jokes that don't get touched. That's what we telling everybody. If you got a microphone, you can do whatever you want to do.
Freezie, it's a part of.
That's why I think you gotta know how
to
say something. But man, that's why I try to do it. Like, you know what I mean? You can't be, because some people get money like trolling and just saying stuff, but you know what I mean? It depends on your life. If you want to live your life like that, because it's like, that's not how I want to talk on a microphone and put it out there, because karma come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You talk a certain way all the time, it'll come back to you.
Yeah,
So you can't keep always saying jokes and saying stuff about people a certain way because you're gonna run into those people. If you ain't ready for that, why do it? Because if you talk about me and you see me, you better be able to say that to my face.
Right. Yeah, man. It's weird. I don't know. The Jalen Brunson
You better be
thing.
built like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it if I wasn't built, but that ain't what I wanted. The karma. It's the karma.
We don't want it to be that, bro. We don't we don't ever want this thing to be that, bro. What I'm getting at ultimately is like with the Brunsons, you can't compare what the Brunsons doing to what John Morant doing. It's like a totally separate and isolated thing, right? Why not say Jalen Brunson and Steph and Del Curry? Right?
Why?
Right? They son and pops in the league. Del Curry got 2 sons in the league.
I think Brunson, I would put John Morant a little ahead of Brunson right now, just because he got where Brunson is right now faster. He did that right away. Even though, it goes that way though. To be fair, he came in.
But Seth took a similar road.
Draft pick to a second round pick. So, for him to even be in that conversation, Freezie, to me is a good thing. But it still got to add up. You know what I mean? So the work that John Morant put in puts him a little bit higher. Brunson got to, show on his own team now that he can pull through the places. Remember, John done beat the Warriors. They already did some stuff in the playoffs before.
Right.
This is Brunson's turn to do it right now and get his narrative.
But John didn't resurrect the dormant franchise.
He didn't resurrect.
Memphis wasn't dormant.
No, Memphis was not. No, Memphis was not dormant. The 2 years before that, they made the playoffs and lost to the Warriors in the second round. And the only reason why they ended up in the lottery is because that team got old, and then they traded off parts. They traded off Marc Gasol first for Valanciunas, and then they traded Mike Conley at the draft right before John Morant got there. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the grit and grind Grizzlies? Don't act like y'all don't remember the grit and grind Grizzlies, bro. Come on, man. Don't act like that.
But their run was over, Freezie.
Their run was over.
Right, but
that run was over.
But they run. That's
he
exactly.
revamped them. That was a perfect comparison.
Right.
That you used.
But how bad was the Knicks and for how long?
I understand that. I know, but it's a good comparison because when you think of their history and ours, we had decent teams. Memphis never won neither. You know what I mean? So when you just go back, they both revamped both teams. You know what I mean? It just Nah, bro, don't do that to the Knicks.
You don't think John Morant revamped the Grizzlies?
No, don't act like the Knicks were good during the grit and grind era, bro. Come on, man.
During the grit and grind era,
Melo
played for the Knicks 3 years in a row. What are we talking about?
We had Randolph. We had different players. We had different decent teams, just like the Grizzlies was trying to build a team.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying that either one of us was too great because I can't remember every game that they played.
If you count this year, the Knicks made the playoffs 5 times in 23 years. And we comparing them to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, okay. We're a worse team than the Grizzlies growth wise.
Right.
I don't gotta now. If you look at as far as what he did for the Grizzlies and what Brunson did for the Knicks, it's the same thing. Because they didn't have nobody by the time John Morant got there. That's how they got the top pick of the draft.
They barely missed the playoffs, and they went from the number 10 worst record to number 2.
Right.
Them and New Orleans barely missed the playoffs the year before, and then they got lucky and moved up 9 spots in the draft. That's why the Knicks didn't get the number 1 pick, because the Memphis Grizzlies moved up 9 spots in the draft. That's why the Knicks didn't get the number 1 pick.
But they weren't relevant, Freezie.
No, they weren't.
They didn't have the face. They didn't have a face of the NBA.
I was gonna ask you who was on grid. Who do you remember on that team?
The only one is Mike Conley. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling y'all.
I'm saying.
But Ja threw them. Ja threw them.
He's been there for 30 years.
Yeah,
right.
Ja throws them into a position where he's before he gets into his later situations, they were touting him as one of the faces of the NBA, one of the new young guns.
Right.
That's a major difference than you just being you know, you just barely missing the playoffs, you know, the play-in or whatever. That's a whole difference when you're one of those guys that's going to be on the NBA 2K and all of that.
But AD, the point I'm making, like, to be honest with you, the point I'm making is I don't care nothing about the Grizzlies. What I'm saying is the Knicks were bad, and the job that was put in front of Jalen Brunson was harder. So what I'm saying is Jalen Brunson deserves more credit, and Rick Brunson deserves more credit for what they contributed to this year's team than I would give John Morant and Zion and others on other teams. That's what I'm getting at. That's ultimately
what I wanted to say was if we only could remember Conley and not really them doing anything, that's the same. We had. That's why I said it's comparison to us. We not in that conversation for making any serious run. I don't even think they was making the playoffs like that, Freezie, back then. They was when they had like Rudy Gay and certain players on their team.
Tony Allen. And
Tony Allen, yeah. I remember those teams.
James Posey and all of those.
Very
guys.
good team.
Yeah,
very good team. But before we get out of here, Freezie, because I know we up against it, I just want to give a special shout out to my new female hero, Miss Angel Reese. I got you, baby. You know, and congratulations to the LSU Tigers, you know, women's basketball team that this past year was the largest gross national audience to watch female, you know, the women's tournament and so forth. So I just want to kind of give them some love and to tell her to stay up, stay strong, right. And you got a major future ahead of you.
And shout out to them Gamecocks. Shout out to them Gamecocks who allowed somebody else to touch the trophy for once.
And congratulations to the UConn Huskies for that national championship, yo. Just want to shout them out.
Yeah, and no disrespect to what AD said, because shout out to LSU. You know what I'm saying? But don't get used to that trophy.
Hey,
that trophy.
They're the champions until somebody takes it.
Yeah. Clinching that seed. Congratulations to the Knicks on clinching that seed, for real. Yeah. That was real for me.
Yeah, man. So, all right, y'all, we're going to get out of here because the Knicks are about to play in a few minutes. And we thank everybody for coming through. Thank you, Hard Will, for coming through, hanging out with us, bro. These conversations, Hard Will, I'm sorry about the dust up, bro, but these conversations get real with me and AD, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't be pulling no punches.
You know why I was over here dying? I was like, yo, this sounds familiar to me. This sounds like me and my co-host going back and forth, going crazy. I'm like, see, that's what happens when you start to just be like, nah, I don't agree with you, man. Nah, you're not going to say that out here, bro. Like, nah. And it go back and forth, on and on and on.
It ain't never personal. It's the love.
Nah, man.
It's the love. And we're going to get it right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, one more thing. Shout out to everybody watching. If you're not already subscribed to our show, for the love of the game, pull that up. We going on in a little while, like around 1:30 if you want to pull up.
Yeah, man.